What's up, East Denver? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to my talk. I'm Frank Brinkemper. I work for Oasis.app, and I'm going to be talking about setting users up for the next bull run. Something all of you are obviously very excited about. A quick disclaimer, if you are here because of the news around the Oasis.app's multi-sig, please see our blog. The automation will be immutable soon. Yes, that's a short aside. So yeah, I said it before, I'm Frank Brinkemper, I'm a product manager at Oasis. Previously I was with the Maker Foundation. And at Oasis, we're building this, so Oasis.app. You can check it out. We're a team across the whole world, about 30 people, and you can find who's on our team on our About page. We have a lot of long-standing DeFi experience in our team. So yeah, that's Oasis. But what am I going to talk about today? So I'll start with a quick lightning intro to the jobs to be done framework. Then I'll talk about how to apply this jobs to be done framework in DeFi and how to therefore set up users for the next bull run. And then how we're applying that within Oasis.app itself. So starting with this jobs to be done framework. If you don't have any idea what this is, that's okay, because I will make it very simple. Wait. Yes. Okay, so what are jobs to be done? So a job is just shorthand for what an individual really seeks to accomplish in a given situation. That sounds quite obvious, maybe, but if you look at it from an example, it works the best. So there was this construction company a couple of years ago, and they were making construction for the elderly, specifically like 70+ people. Who were looking to live somewhere in Detroit in a little bit of a smaller house, and they were doing everything that they can to listen to their users, so the elderly, to hear what they want. So they wanted, for example, out of the focus groups, they heard that the users wanted. That the floors didn't have any bumps and stuff like that, so that they could roam around in a wheelchair if that's needed. But that didn't help them increase their sales. So it didn't matter how much they listened to their users to ask them what they wanted. Nothing helped. And then they started thinking a little bit differently about, well, it's not about what we build, it's about like the job that our user is trying to achieve. And what is this job in the case of like building construction for the elderly? It's not that you have just the house, it is that you move your life from like a big countryside home to a smaller place area. So what did this company do? They made sure that the moving was arranged. They made sure that that if you had extra furniture that wouldn't fit your new house, that would get sold for you. They would make sure that the financials were easy to understand for the elderly. So it's thinking about much further than just what should we build? It's about like making sure that you're building for something that a user really wants. So the questions you should ask yourself if you're using the jobs to be done framework is, what experiences will help customers make the progress they're seeking in a given circumstance? That's the first one. And what obstacles must be removed? I think a great example of this one is with Uber. Uber, they like introduced that you like obviously that getting from one place to another is now easier than ever, and they completely like removed the need to hassle for the money afterwards. Completely integrate that. Like that was a very big obstacle for taxi users, and now everyone uses Uber because it's so easy. And the third question is, what are the social and emotional and functional dimensions of the job? And what you need to think about here is, for example, in the case of the construction company, like moving out is a huge deal. So you need to reduce the anxiety levels of your users. And the same holds for DeFi. Like if you're doing very scary, huge transactions, then maybe you want your users want the ability to simulate those transactions to make sure that it's really according to their need. Or there might be other ways how they would like to have their anxiety alleviated. So how can we apply this jobs to be done framework in DeFi? Well, for example, with Oasis.app, we started as the front end for the Maker protocol. But being a front end to a Maker protocol doesn't say anything about what you do to a user. Like it's really just using the lingo of the protocol and putting that in front of your user. No new user will understand that. Only the real core users will understand what you're doing. So we're not anymore the front end for the Maker protocol. We are, for example, this is one of the jobs that we try to optimize for. We try to help the user optimize their position and protect them from the worry of losses. So that reframing of what you do helps focus your user experience around this job to be done of the user. So answering some questions, the questions that I posed earlier. So for example, what experiences will help customers make progress they're seeking in a given circumstance? Well, for example, in DeFi, you need to show insights instead of data. You don't need to just plug the protocol data to the user, because again, no user will understand it. You need to make the user help the user, give them the insights that they need based on the protocol data. So, for example, showing the profit and loss instead of the collateral and debt, because in some cases, what does your debt really matter in a leveraged position, for example? If you only care about the profit and loss that you're making. What obstacles must be removed? Well, one thing I think is a really good example of like a job to be done style like improvement is Uniswap's permit 2. And what Uniswap's permit 2 is doing is trying to abstract away the need for approvals. Or at least abstracting the need to approve every single token in every single transaction that you're doing, because that's really, really annoying, obviously. And then, what are the social, emotional, and functional dimensions of the job? When a user has opened a position, for example, that can have been very terrifying, you don't just want to say transaction completed. Like that no user will be happy when they see that. They're like, okay, transaction completed, but did it work? Did it do what I wanted to do? So you can say something like, hooray, you opened your position. That's so awesome. Something like that. Obviously, the tone needs to be tailored to your users as well. But yeah, like this is how you can think about it. So what are the product roadmap consequences of this job to be done style framework? For example, when you're trying to apply it to setting users up for the next bull run? Well, first of all, try to abstract away protocols and lingo as much as possible. So, like, why does a user even need to know that you're using the Maker protocol? If you're using email, do you know that you're using SMTP? I think maybe in this room, even like 20% know that you're using SMTP. But like, for those who are unaware, you're using that, but you don't care because you just want to send an email. That's it. Yeah, so also less focus on features, more on use cases. I will come back to this in 1 minute. So don't just if users start asking for things, don't just blatantly build what they ask for, but try to understand the job that they're trying to achieve with that feature that they're asking for. Because maybe you have a much better idea of what to build than the user. Also, kill features that don't contribute to the job to be done. So if you have features that are, for whatever reason, not contributing to optimizing profits and protecting from losses, and that's your identified job, then you should definitely kill that feature. So what is Oasis.app and how are we applying this jobs to be done framework? Well, our mission is to be the most trusted place to deploy your capital in DeFi. And we do that with 2 main jobs. The one is the one I said before, so help me optimize my profits while protecting me from losses. And the other one is help me earn a predictable yield on the assets that I own. And these 2 jobs are what we focus on in our products. So for example, we have the multiply product. And you can see that like we also still need to abstract away some lingo. But the idea of multiply is that it's leverage like trading, whilst like the Maker protocol itself and the Aave protocol itself, they don't allow for leverage. They allow for leverage, but not on their front ends. So we've built this leverage like trading product on top of the Maker and Aave protocol. We built stop loss. So if you open a position, you can immediately set up a stop loss trigger at a price that you like, and by this we are the biggest like automated stop loss protocol in DeFi, with over 200 million being protected today using stop loss. We also have Oasis Borrow. That's to get liquidity. You can also set up a stop loss there, and you can borrow, for example, against WBTC at rates of 0.75. And then thirdly, we have Oasis Earn, where you can get yields on your assets. And this is like the product where we try to abstract away the protocol the most. It's still not completely there because we also want to help users understand where their capital actually is instead of just putting their capital somewhere. So this is like a fully self-custody position. What you can do here, for example, in this case, is you can get up to 10 times exposure on rep staked ETH using Aave. So in one transaction, you deposit ETH and you choose the multiple that you want to get. So for example, you can get up if you want 5x multiple on your rep staked ETH, you can get that. So that's really briefly how you can apply the jobs to be done framework, and by applying this, you will eventually set up users for the next bull run. So I think that's it. Thank you all for listening. if there are any questions in the room, feel free to ask me. And if not, you can catch us at our booth. We have our booth, over there. Any questions? Yes?
Any view for offering risk analysis in the interface?
A risk analysis of the interface itself? Yeah. We currently don't offer simulations. Well, we offer like simulations in terms of what, like how your position will look like, but we don't yet simulate the exact transaction. So the transaction gets like we estimate the gas, and thereby we show if it will succeed or fail. But we're also going to look into making it possible that you can actually see where your assets are going in every step. Cool. I think that's it. So thank you very much.